Hi guys. Um, I was abused once, and I know I've said before that um, I was never abused, and this is because it's something that happened at an older age. I wasn't a young little child, but I was definitely a child yet, technically. Um, I've never I've never told this to anybody. It and the only I have a reason why I'm telling you now, which you'll find out. But hold on a second. Ah, not much for drinking. In fact, um, yeah, I did have a little drinking problem off and on, which I killed more or less. Um, I do enjoy drinking a good beer every now and then now, and might buy a case of beer a month nowadays. But I did have my heady days. Don't get me wrong. Anyways, back on topic. I was abused once, and I've never told anybody, and that's part of the problem. Um, so when I was about well, look, I don't want you to get the wrong idea because once again, I never said I was abused, and yet here I am saying I am, um, or was. Uh, I do consider myself to have a high level of integrity, okay, and honesty, um, and I can honestly say that I very rarely lie. I very rarely lie, okay, but I do lie. Um, the doctor lies. But I only lie when I feel like it's a good thing. Like when it's one of those lies that it's like, I think everything's going to be better if I just lie and we just move on or something. But yes, it's very, very rare that I lie. And also, it's something that was not as serious as you may think. And I don't want people to get the wrong idea. Again, I don't wear diapers because I was abused once in my life, and it was very minor, so you'll see. But I always was into diapers. I was 3 years old putting on my own diapers, and then at 5 years old, I was able to go get them on my own and stuff, and you wear diapers, and that was just something I did. Okay, if anything, it's probably that like a weird mental sexuality strange thing that you fixate on early in your life. So no, I don't. I'm not into diapers because of being abused. Okay, make me mad when you think that because that's not it. Um, so to get to the real subject here, I was somewhere around 12 years old. Okay, here's the story. It's not as bad as you might be thinking in your head and dreading. But when I was somewhere in the 12-year-old range, it's hard to pinpoint the exact age. Okay, I was uh, I was showering. It sounds bad already. Um, and an adult came in and watched me shower. That's all that happened. Okay, so no, 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 I wasn't touched. I wasn't. There was no like, oh, look at this, and no, there was none of that. But it was wrong. There was no reason for I. If a 12-year-old is taking a shower and you go in there and you look at them or something, it's wrong. Unless they're like disabled and they need your assistance or something, that's different, okay? But if you're a completely able-bodied, you know, child, um, youth, whatever, young adult, I don't know. I was young, but uh, it's not okay for an adult to come in and just watch you shower. I mean, there was no reason for it. And I remember saying, "Well, what are you doing? What are you doing?" And I can't even tell you what the response was, except making sure you don't use it right. The shower is real sensitive and can't use too much soap, blah blah. And it's like I can think of a lot of reasons to watch a child in the shower. And none of them are those reasons, okay? All the reasons that I can think of are horrible and vile. I got lucky. I was lucky. That was all it was. That was it. Just watched me shower. But, it's... I buried it and just pushed it aside and nothing ever happened, so it was okay. You know what I'm saying? But it could have gone much, much worse and been very bad. Now, the reason I'm saying something about it is actually to try to help other people, especially if you're a young person. Okay, if someone has ever done something to you, or even just like I said, something that if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. Okay, that's pretty much your short answer to everything. If someone does something and it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't. And your first reaction is going to be the same one that I have still. When it's done to you, it's most likely someone that you're close to in your life. It's probably a family member. I mean, it could be, okay, or a beloved family friend, okay, whatever. Or it could be Joe Schmo. But I'm just saying, it's more likely it's somebody that knows you already, and you're gonna want to protect them. That's I'm serious. You're going to think, well, I don't want anything bad to happen to them, so you're not going to say anything because you don't want anything bad to happen to them. And that's not really the way you should think about it. That's not right. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. You can't blame a young person who was abused. You can't blame them for not talking. Okay? Hear me out, because they're young and they don't know any better. They don't realize that there's consequences. But now that I'm an adult, most of the time, sadly, now that I am, I realize that there's consequences. What if you were in my situation where an adult came in and watched you shower, and that was all they did, and you didn't say anything, and then they went on and abused another child, but they did something much worse, and you found out about it. You could have maybe have stopped that from happening if you had said something to someone, if you had told somebody. Maybe you could have stopped this badness from continuing. But again, I'm going to defend a child, even a 12-year-old. You don't know what to do. You're kind of shocked and confused, and you want to protect them most likely, but you got to think about it from the standpoint I'm telling you right now. Think about it. What if you came out unscathed? You're fine, okay? You know what I mean? Life goes on. You go play video games, do whatever you want to do. But I mean, what if you could have stopped that person from doing something bad to somebody else? And maybe you think you're strong and you can take it or whatever. That doesn't make it okay. And it doesn't make it okay to be quiet about it. I always thought I was a smart kid, but I think now, looking back, I didn't look at all the angles of things. I didn't realize that things could be so critical and so important. That there could be consequences beyond myself. And it makes me feel terrible. So my advice to you would be not to keep it secret. To tell somebody. Somebody close to you, like a parent or somebody. I mean, one of them's got to be good, right? But I'm just saying, you got to tell somebody. And if that doesn't work, you really should go to authorities, which you can dial 911 or whatever. If you don't know who the police are, you can get help. Here's the problem. This is where everybody that tells you about abuse, this is where they all lie. They're all going to tell you that you could have been seriously abused. And I mean something really bad. And then you call, and then they don't take you seriously. Okay? And there's no, or they do sort of, but the person comes back and does it to you again, they're going to tell you, everybody that tells you about abuse is going to tell you that if you report it, you're fine, that you're going to get help. That's not necessarily the case. Justice in this world is not perfect. It's not automatic. It's not fast. There's no guarantees in this life. You may report it, and then it may happen again because, the person talks their way out of it or whatever. The bottom line is, I'm not going to lie to you. Okay? I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that you report it and you're going to be fine. It may not be fine. But it's the best you can do. You can't stay quiet, because if you do, what if it happens to somebody else? What if something bad happens to somebody else, and you could have done something about it? Don't just let it happen to somebody else, and don't let it happen to you again either. I guarantee that if you report it enough, then eventually something good will come of it. They will find them. It will stop one way or the other. But I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be all roses and it's going to be magical and fixed immediately, because it's a messed up, effed up situation. And you need to remember that just because you had it easy doesn't mean that it's not going to affect somebody else later on. If I ever caught someone abusing a child, I gotta tell you, I'm not very sensible. I don't think I would take the good route, like calling the police. I think I would probably lose control. Okay? I would lose control. If I literally walked in on someone just abusing a child, I probably would snap. Adrenaline would be pumping through my body, and I don't know what would happen, but it wouldn't be good for them. I can tell you that right now. So, anyways, I just wanted to put that out there and let you guys know that, that you gotta say something. You gotta tell people. You can't keep that a secret because of the consequences of not. There's consequences for telling, there's consequences for not telling, and I get it. It's a terribly effed up situation. And there's no guarantees. Sadly, I can't guarantee anything, but it's the right thing to do. So, just wanted to put that out there, and I'm very sorry for the way I handled it when I was young, but I didn't know any better. So there you have it. I was abused once, and it just popped into my head while I was showering the other day, and I was just kind of like about it, and I thought about it, and I wanted to make this video because as I thought about it, I suddenly realized, I kept on saying, well, it was nothing, I just, it never really had to escalate because nothing ever happened beyond that. So it never escalated, and I was fine. I'm like, I was fine. And then when I was in the shower and I'm showering and thinking about it, I'm like, but what if somebody else wouldn't be fine? Yeah, that's where my head went. So, so chin up. Make sure you get help. Don't hide it. Don't keep it in. Don't bury it. It's not just you. It's other people that could be hurt. And we're all here for you. I think everybody that watches this video, I would like to hope, are good people that would only want the best for you. And if you look for help, you can find it. It is there. I'm just trying to be honest about the fact that it doesn't mean automatic safety. It doesn't. But it's the right direction. It's the path that you have to take. It's the only way. If you try any other way, Okay? You're probably thinking, well, it's my dad or something. I can keep this a secret or something. You're crazy, all right? No, that's wrong, all right? So, that's it, guys. I was abused once. Yeah. How do you end a video when you... I don't know. What the fox?